Hello, everybody. How's it going out there? I hope you're all doing very well. My name is Meg Moonbeam, and we're here on Beyond Mystic. Welcome to the Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, X channel, and I'm very happy to be here with you all today for the new Astro Woo for the month of April. We're going to go through the astrology for the whole collective for the month of April. And we're also going to do prediction readings for each of the 12 sun, moon, and rising signs as well. So I'm very, very excited to share the astrology with all of you. This is a very, very powerful and big month ahead of us that we're stepping into, as some astrologers are even arguing that this is the biggest month of the year astrologically. We've got a lot going on, so I'm going to be getting into it in depth. Before we get into the astrology, just want to mention, you guys, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Jean-Claude Beyond Mystic 3 YouTube channel, as well as the Rumble channel. And also, I do offer personal astrological consultations that are available in the description box of this video at consultations.beyondmystic.net. And I think I have, if I'm not mistaken, 1 or 2 readings available for May, and then I'm starting to book into June and July. I love to serve through doing personal astrological consultations. So I do offer 1-hour personal forecast reading, looking at your astrological transits for the year ahead, 1-hour solar return readings, which is looking at your upcoming or current birthday chart, and also 1-hour birth chart astrology readings, going deep into the magic and the wisdom of your astrological birth chart. And also, we're very happy here at Beyond Mystic to be welcoming Ashala to the team. And Ashala is going to be offering 1-hour psychic tarot readings that are also available at consultations.beyondmystic.net. And she's also going to start doing the Psychic Tarot Weekly Show on the BM YouTube and Rumble. And the first one is going to be April 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern. So definitely go check that out, you guys. Ashala has a very beautiful, calming energy. I really like her energy, and I'm really looking forward to working with her. So yeah, let me know how you guys are doing in the comments. Hello, Maria. Hello, Jenny. Very nice to see you guys. It is a lot of energy. So I don't know about all y'all, but I'm really feeling this eclipse season we are in. I'm really feeling it strongly on the physical level. My physical body is having all kind of ascension symptoms going on. And the past couple of days, I felt even knocked out by the energy. So I've been hearing a lot of people feeling the same way. If you are not feeling anything like that, I'm very happy for you. And otherwise, I hope that you are all doing very well. So yeah, this is an absolutely huge month of the year. We've got so much going on. We're going to be having a Mercury retrograde that I'm going to talk about. We've got the April 8th Great North American Eclipse. We've got the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction as well. And a very, very intense full moon in Scorpio that we're going to talk about also. So yeah, Kathy is saying the energy is off the scale. Yes, it is indeed. So no, you guys, take a deep breath and buckle up, for as we enter April, this is going to be not normal astrology. Okay, ding, 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 ding. We are going off the Richter scale, off the astrological Richter scale. This might be the biggest month of the year astrologically, actually. So very excited to get into it with all of you. I first want to say happy birthday to all of the April Aries and Tauruses. I'm wishing you all very, very happy birthdays and magical solar return years ahead. So first thing that I want to share with you guys is I made this little slide of some April astrology key dates. Okay. And so I'm filming this Astro Woo for April on Friday, March 29th. And we're going into this weekend, the last few days of March. And when we start April with a bang, because April 1st, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Aries. And this is going to be an intense Mercury retrograde. We're going to talk about that first after I show this slide of the key dates for the month ahead. It's going to be an intense one. Okay, so we got Mercury retrograde in Aries, and then on April 4th, we've got Venus enters Aries. April 8th is, of course, the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, a lot of Aries energy, as you guys can see. And that's going to be the big daddy eclipse out of this eclipse season. April 11th, we've got a Mercury cazimi in Aries, which a cazimi is when a planet exactly conjuncts the sun. So Mercury will be exactly conjunct the sun on April 11th. And thank you, Jenny, for saying pretty slide. I tried to make it as kind of pretty and creative as possible. We've got Jupiter at the bottom right and Uranus in the top left, because of course, the big highlight of this month, other than the April 8th eclipse, is the biggest conjunction astrologically of the year, which is the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So we got Jupiter and Uranus are the stars of the show in this slide. April 11th, Mercury cazimi in Aries. Then April 19th, Sun enters Taurus season, which I love Taurus season. Don't know about you guys. Very excited for Taurus season. This Aries season is going to be very extremely intense. So April 19th, we get into a little bit of a calmer Taurus season. But then again, on April 20th is the Jupiter conjunct Uranus conjunction at 21 degrees of Taurus, which isn't exactly that calm. So it's not going to be a typical Taurus season. Just going to be honest with you guys. April 23rd, full moon in Scorpio. Super, super intense. I'm going to talk about why, not just because it's in the sign of Scorpio, but some really harsh adverse aspects to that full moon. So you're going to want to write that in your agendas that we got a crazy ass full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd. And then April 25th, Mercury goes direct in Aries. Yay, Mercury retrograde will be over. Mercury will be direct as of April 25th. April 29th, Venus enters Aries. And on April 30th, Mars enters Aries. Venus enters Taurus, April 29th, and April 30th, Mars enters Aries. I've been noticing today that I've been getting my words all messed up. Okay, so maybe I'm already starting to pick up on the Mercury retrograde that starts in just a few days. So you guys, I'm going to try my best as I do this Astro Woo to be speaking clearly. But if for whatever reason I say a wrong word, I mess something up, know that we're entering a really intense Mercury retrograde. So I'm just trying to do my best over here. Okay, guys? So yeah, this is our key dates for the month of April. Now, I want to talk about a few specific transits that we've got going on, what they're going to mean for the collective. And then I'm going to do the readings for the 12 sun, moon, and rising signs as well. And this is not a normal month whatsoever. So I'm going to talk about the Mercury retrograde, the April 8th eclipse, the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction on April 20th, and then the full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd. And then we'll get into, I'll do a little collective card reading, and then we'll get into the 12 sign predictions as well. Okay, so we're going to start with, I've got the chart for April 1st. And on April 1st, let me zoom this in so you guys can see, Mercury goes retrograde at 27 degrees of Aries. Okay, so we're going to be having Mercury retrograde during the eclipse season, which is already a very funky energy. Eclipses tend to be, a little bit chaotic. Okay, eclipses are times of great fate, destiny, us up leveling, and they're really times where we need to surrender to what is coming up at the moment. Okay, a lot of us are going through fated life changes. If in particular, if you are an Aries, Libra, or another cardinal sign, like the Cancers and the Capricorns, those are the signs that will be getting the most affected by this eclipse season. But you want to see where you have 5 degrees of Libra, the point of the March 25th eclipse, and 19 degrees of Aries to see if you were directly activated by any placements in your chart by this eclipse, because that will also be affecting you the most. Okay, but Mercury retrograde during an eclipse season, really, really intense because it's a funky energy. So we're going to be experiencing this Mercury retrograde from 27 degrees of Aries down to 15 degrees of Aries, and then he'll go direct at 15 degrees. Retrogrades are about review, reflection, and taking a sacred pause. Okay, so in life, if we're connecting to the natural cycles of what is, it is, not natural to just always be moving full steam ahead, really fast, go, go, go. There are times when it's actually natural for us to take a pause and review and reflect. Okay. And that is what we are going through from April 1st to April 25th with this Mercury retrograde in Aries. So with Mercury retrograde, it's not the best time to be initiating something new or signing important documents or making important decisions. And I'm going to say, if possible. Okay, you guys. Now, of course, life happens and things come up. And sometimes I get messages from people like, oh my God, Meg, I have to move out of my house, or I have to sign this document, but it's Mercury retrograde. Stuff happens, you guys, and it's not the end of the world. Okay, life happens, but it is ideal, if possible, that we don't sign anything important during a Mercury retrograde that we've just come up with the idea of during the retrograde. Okay, so it's more about reviewing, reflecting, taking a sacred pause. We can also notice during Mercury retrogrades that the energy is wonky in the collective, that things may take a longer time. There can be delays. Mercury rules day-to-day activities, gadgets, cars, short distance travel, communication, and our mind. So Mercury rules a lot of really important things in Western astrology that we utilize every single day. So that's why, more so than other planetary retrogrades, when Mercury goes retrograde, we really feel it. And it can be like a kind of funky energy. Now, this Mercury retrograde is interesting because it's in the sign of Aries, and Aries is the first sign in astrology. It is arguably the most energetic sign in astrology. Aries love to move fast, be direct, and they're notorious for being a little bit impatient and restless. Okay, and every Aries is different, but that's more of a general read on Aries. So during this Mercury retrograde in Aries, we can be feeling more impatient, more frustrated, more impulsive, and blunt as well. Okay, because Mercury rules words and how we communicate. Aries is bluntness and directiveness and being impulsive. So don't take anything personally during this retrograde that may come off from someone else as really blunt or direct, or to a point where it may be a little bit rude, right? And if you notice yourself being extra impatient than usual or talking really bluntly, just be mindful of that and maybe apologize if necessary, because none of us are perfect. And yeah, this is a retrograde where I can see there being potential more conflicts than usual on social media, in our communication daily with people. More people can be more aggressive and on edge. So just not taking it personally. Okay, you guys, just taking extra special care, double checking how you're communicating, anything you post online, and how you're triggered by people and what it is that you're saying to people in reactiveness when you're triggered. Okay. So yeah, Mercury retrograde, April 1st to April 25th. And then the next big event in the month is the April 8th full moon solar eclipse, the Great North American Eclipse. And I did a whole 2024 eclipse season workshop over at the BeyondMystic.academy that's 5 hours long, where I talk really in depth about the spring eclipse season, what it means for each of the 12 signs. So if you want to hear a real big deep dive on that, go check out my workshop on the Academy. But of course, I'm going to talk about it a little bit here. So eclipses are super underrated in astrology because they don't just have an effect for the eclipse season, but actually for our whole next year ahead. New moon solar eclipses have an effect on us personally in terms of where it activates in our personal charts, and in the collective for the whole next year. So for this April 8th eclipse, you're going to want to look at, where do you have 19 degrees of Aries in your chart? Because that's going to be the area that is the most highlighted. People who have planetary placements within 3 to 5 degrees of Aries, between 14 to 25 degrees of Aries will feel this the most, as well as all the other cardinal signs. And new moon eclipses are major points of fated new beginnings, fresh new energy in our lives, personally and collectively. We go through the release portal of the full moon eclipse, which we had on March 25th. And now we're getting ready to go into a very new beginning starting on April 8th. And this eclipse is happening in the sign of Aries. And as I said, Aries is the first sign in astrology, and it rules our foundations, survival, self-sufficiency, action, leadership, independence, freedom, directiveness, war, conflict, our masculine side, being in the present moment, and bravery. So we're going through a collective and personal new beginning regarding these Aries-ruled areas of life. And it's a new moon eclipse in the sign of our current North Node. You know, if we look at the chart, we're going to have the sun and the moon exactly conjunct, new moon eclipse, conjunct the North Node in Aries. It's in the sign of the North Node, and also exactly conjunct Chiron. Wowzers, the eclipse is exactly conjunct Chiron. So it's a new beginning. It's a healing new beginning, because Chiron is the healer in astrology, what we call the wounded healer. A new beginning in terms of healing those Aries-ruled areas of life that have been wounded or damaged. So our masculine side, our independence, our bravery, our freedom, right? So this is really, really powerful stuff. It is our higher purpose to honor self, ruled by Aries, to be in our inner warriorship, to be connected to independence and freedom, and to be here now, to be living in the present moment. So this is really going to show over the next year a lot of people being very inspired to step into being a part of the freedom movement, the freedom community, valuing their freedom, their independence, enjoying life to the fullest in every moment. So things are going to start happening very quickly over the next year, progressing quickly, because Aries is very much about fast movement and action as well. And a lot of people waking up out of the matrix. It's interesting that the dispositor of this eclipse is Mars, and Mars is the ruler of Aries. So Mars is in Pisces, where he doesn't really love to be, okay? Pisces is the most sensitive spiritual sign in astrology, and Mars is in Pisces and conjunct Saturn. I like to call him Granddaddy Saturn. So this is where people can be feeling really, really sensitive, frustrated, even on edge over the whole next year, as they realize how much they've been disempowered by the current matrix system that has been. There's going to be a lot of people that when they go through their wake up phase will be experiencing mental health issues. And this is not something that I wish on anybody, okay? Just reading the astrology here, that there's mental health issues and challenge that people will be going through when they wake up to how disempowered we have become. And I've been feeling on the intuitive level that it goes to all the way down to our ancestors. It's not just us, it's goes far back to our ancestors at some point gave the power away to the systems that are at the present time, right? So this is huge healing occurring over the course of the next year. And yeah, this eclipse is asking of us, where do we need to be more brave in life, assertive, and step into our leadership, okay? And also, you know, Aries is the first sign in astrology, plus Jupiter and Uranus will be in a very strong conjunction at the time of this eclipse. This is like the start of a whole new era in the collective. And I really, really feel like things will never be the same after this eclipse, after April. Those new systems that we've been hoping for, if you will, stepping out of the matrix, are going to start to pop up more and more, be manifested more and more, and people are going to be taking action. Aries is about action. It's not sitting around and waiting for, you know, certain things to be invented, or sitting around waiting for someone to save us. It's us doing that ourselves. So I hope that makes sense how I explained that. And some of my collective predictions with this April 8th eclipse are, and I'll say this again, the freedom and independence movement growing exponentially even more over the course of the next year, and particularly in Canada, because Canada's rising sign is going to be conjunct this eclipse, off by 3 degrees. Survival skills, self-defense, and personal protection becoming a big theme, and even bigger trend over the next year, because those things are ruled by Aries. There will be new beginnings and energies in warfare, military leaders. We could see some more war, physical conflict globally. Not that I want this, okay, but just saying that this is something the Aries rules. Chiron is conjunct the eclipse, which is a little bit of a stressful, adverse aspect. So we want to be in our light inner warriorship and not in our wounded warriorship. The wounded inner warriorship is when we're being violent, acting out of anger very impulsively, and that acting out of frustration, versus being in the positive inner warriorship, which is only using physical protection only when necessary, okay? And the inner warriorship of not going into a physically violent place and just holding the space for others, right? So being strong and not getting easily triggered by others and starting fights. We're also going to see, under the energy of this eclipse over the next year, new leaders worldwide in all facets of life coming forward, because Aries is one of the signs that rules leadership. So in federal governments, local community, there will be a lot of new leaders showing up. And also the April 8th eclipse is the Great North American Eclipse. So it's very, very rare, where it's going to be visible through all the countries of North America, Mexico, USA, and Canada in the path of visibility. So you're going to want to see, if you're interested or care, you can just look up online, Great North American Eclipse, path of visibility, type it in online, and you can see, you know, if it's going to be visible in your area. And if you want to watch it live, you can. So I'm very excited for that. I'm going to be looking at the eclipse with my eclipse glasses on April 8th. So super, super excited for that. So yeah, that's the April 8th eclipse. And then I want to talk a little bit about April 20th, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, okay, which there's a lot to say about this, and I'm not going to go super in depth on it in the moment. On April 4th at 6 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to do the first inaugural Astro Deep Dive show here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube and Rumble channel, where I'm purely just going to talk on that show about the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction for the collective and for each of the 12 signs. Excuse me, you guys. So I'll talk about it very briefly here, but I'm going to do a full show on it next week on April 4th. So stay tuned for that. Okay, you guys. But just to share, since we are talking about April, and this is the biggest astrological conjunction of the year happening in April, Uranus and Jupiter will exactly conjunct on April 20th at 21 degrees of Taurus. Okay. And, you know, these two only meet up and make a conjunction every 14 years. And it's actually been 84 years since they conjuncted in the sign of Taurus, which was during World War II in 1941. Okay, so very, very interesting. You want to pay attention to, if you have anything at 21 degrees or 22 degrees, or even within 5 degrees, either side of 21 degrees Taurus, around that position, because you will be feeling this the most. And the Tauruses, as well as all the other fixed signs. So, that's the Leos, Tauruses, Scorpios, and Aquariuses will be feeling this the most, but it will have an effect on all of us. This Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is a sudden, even shocking jump into the future, because Uranus rules the future, regarding the Taurus areas of life. So this is a really, really big deal. Big financial changes for people are coming with this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. And we're going to learn about how it's, in my personal astrological opinion, very important to invest in things that have stability and actual realistic value, because that's Taurus, right? In astrology, Taurus rules what is actually of real value, even physical value, and that being a part of our new financial system. With this conjunction as well, we will see more of a push for CBDCs, and there will be huge revolution in response to that, because Pluto is in Aquarius, and Pluto is the planet that rules revolution, right? So if I can just zoom in on here, Pluto will be at 2 degrees of Aquarius at the exact time of conjunction. Interesting that 2 degrees is a Taurus degree, and Jupiter and Uranus are conjuncting in the sign of Taurus. So this is very much about our financial system, things of physical value, the food supply, the farmers, we're seeing the farmer protests, how we operate on the physical level and what we put value to is changing as we go into this age of Aquarius. And we, the people, are not going to be putting up with Pluto and Aquarius with being held down anymore, with our power being taken away from us anymore, right? So we're going to be seeing those two timelines playing out at the same time, the higher timeline and the lower timeline. The lower timeline of people not wanting to leave the matrix yet, the higher timeline of those of us that are open to the age of Aquarius. So it's going to be really trippy to see those timelines for a little bit coincide side by side, but more and more people starting in, with this eclipse season, with this conjunction and beyond, waking up and wanting more sovereignty and independence. This Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is also going to greatly affect astrology. Okay, Pluto being in Aquarius, Aquarius is the sign that rules astrology. Uranus is the planet that rules astrology. So likely there could be a very big astrological or astronomical discovery around the exact time of this conjunction, or in the month of April, or in the preceding weeks afterwards. Maybe a new planet or asteroid being discovered, or innovation in astrology. Hello, Connie Phillips. Connie says, this is exhilarating. Well, wow, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I think this month is going to be totally, totally exhilarating. And I can't stress enough, Uranus rules weirdness and unexpected shocks and surprises. So whenever people ask me whether I'm doing a reading for them and Uranus is involved, or I'm doing a collective reading like I am right now and Uranus is involved, I have to be honest and tell you guys, Uranus rules unpredictability. So if anybody's telling you this is exactly what is going to be happening on the conjunction, Uranus is unpredictability. So there's going to be things completely out of left field that probably none of us have even predicted that are going to be coming up. So it is exhilarating, and it's very exciting to see how exactly this is going to be transpiring. Taurus rules the earth and free energy. Uranus is also associated with free energy. So I think there could be something coming up around free energy with this conjunction as well. And the last thing that I will say for this conjunction, and I'll go more in depth on the Astro Deep Dive on April 4th, but last thing I'll say for now is that in the chart of the European Union has its moon at 24 degrees of Taurus. So when this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction occurs, it is going to be right on top of, only a few degrees off, the moon of the European Union, which represents the people in astrology of country charts. So Europe is going to be very, very highlighted. I think there's going to be huge protests and revolution happening in Europe. We're already seeing that with, the farmers' protests. There could be something shocking, right? Uranus shocking coming up that people even more start to protest around with that, maybe around the CBDCs or governmental structures. So Europe is going to be very, very highlighted and very, very affected by that conjunction for sure. It is not going to be a boring time whatsoever. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about all that. And last important transit that I want to share before we get into the personal readings for each of the 12 signs is the Scorpio full moon. I've right now brought up the chart for the Scorpio full moon, which is going to be on April 23rd. And holy guacamole, this is really, really an intense full moon. And I know I'm an astrologer. Okay. So I know you guys may be listening to me right now like, oh my God, Meg is so dramatic. These astrologers are so dramatic because they're always saying that we got an intense full moon coming on. Trust me, you guys, this might be the most intense full moon of the year by far. Okay. And I'm going to explain to you why that is. The moon is at fall position in Scorpio. Okay. The moon does not like to be in Scorpio. Let me be clear though. If you have your moon in Scorpio in your birth chart, it's not the easiest placement to have. There are really great gifts that can come with that, but the moon doesn't necessarily like to be there. It's a big point of tension. Okay. Full moons are when the moon is in an opposition to the sun, exact, a point of tension. We've got Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, the dispositor of this full moon, square the moon and the sun, making a T-square. Okay, so there's a T-square with the sun, moon, and Pluto. Pluto, the most intense sign in astrology, one of the most intense astrological aspects when you've got sun square Pluto or moon square Pluto. And we've got the other ruler of Scorpio, other dispositor, Mars, conjunct Neptune, the planet of, Mars is conflict, masculine energy, drive, assertion, our boundaries. Neptune is spirituality, creativity, but can also be having no boundaries or illusions, lies, deception. I want you guys to mark your calendars for April 23rd as well, because it is not just the Mercury retrograde. It is not just the April 8th eclipse. It is not just the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction. Jenny is saying, buckle up. Yes, you guys buckle up. This full moon in Scorpio is going to be a shit show, okay? And I don't want to be creating anything negative to happen, okay? But Scorpio rules the dark side of life, okay? Scorpio rules the shadow. So knock on wood, knocking on my wood close to me. I don't want anything negative to be happening in the collective, but this is likely to be a very tense day and periods surrounding this full moon where there could be something very dark that does happen in the collective or in a certain part of the world, or even in our personal lives. We go through a very intense process. Pluto and Scorpio are intensity. They're also ruling, secrets being revealed, our shadow side, okay? So full moons are points of release and illumination. So this is an amazing full moon in the positive side to be doing cleansing work, healing work, any kind of therapeutic work. That's a way that we can positively work with this full moon. But yeah, just being aware, people are going to be feeling really intense. It's going to be edgy. It's going to be weird. And this is only a few days after that exact Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So this is going to be a very weird, intense full moon. Okay. If you are a Scorpio or a water sign or a fixed sign, I want you guys to be doing extra self-care. I want you guys to be taking it easy, during this full moon. But for all of us with Pluto and square to the moon and sun and that T square to Pluto, the most intense planet in astrology that rules the dark side of life and our shadows and secrets, it is, yeah, I love what you're saying there, Jaya Aja. It is a revealing. Okay. So another way we can work with the energy of that full moon is to pay attention to what is being revealed to us in the collective, but also in our personal lives. And this full moon is going to be at a 4 degrees, which is a Cancer degree. So it's very much highlighting our families, our ancestors, our country of origin as a theme of, okay, what exactly is being revealed? What exactly is going through a healing process? It's very much our families and our ancestors. And if that's not intense enough for you guys, this is the second last day of Mercury retrograde, which, you know, the first days of Mercury retrograde and the last days are considered to be the most intense. So this is very edgy, wonky, weird with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, people feeling super emotional. And it can be also, Spirit wants me to say, maybe bringing things up to the surface that have never been said before. You may find yourself around this time just saying things, you know, from your shadow side, or, you know, ways that you thought you were betrayed or hurt from the past. It's just coming out. You know, and then that can start a little bit of a drama or something with someone, which is not a negative thing. You know, Scorpio, the sign Scorpio teaches us that sometimes things need to come out, even if we maybe look like the bad guy, even if we look like we're being negative. If there's something you need to say to get off your chest, to be able to release something that's happened, it's important to maybe say it, right? Vermaris is here. Hello. She says transformation incoming. Yeah, this is very big transformation. And also Scorpio is empowerment. So when we can look at our shadow side and love it and talk to it and see what it needs, we can transform into our highest versions. We can become empowered. So yeah, really, really powerful full moon. Colette says, I agree. In the past, worse stuff happened in Scorpio full moon, and usually with someone whose moon in Scorpio. I'll pay attention. Okay, yeah, pay attention to that for sure. And that makes sense that some very intense things happen when the full moon is in Scorpio, because it is the most intense sign in astrology, okay? And I don't want to scare you guys, and maybe I'm being a really intense Scorpio right now because I am a Scorpio, but we get kicked in the butt by Scorpio full moons or Pluto adverse aspects, you know, when we are feeding toxicity in our lives, right? When we are not paying attention to the red flags or not wanting to let something go, right? That's where it can be a lot harder, when we're not wanting to face our shadow side coming up. So just being honest with yourself about what's coming up at that time is a really good way to work with it, okay? So before we get into the 12 sign predictions, I want to mention, very cool, that we have a Spring Awakening sale over at the Beyond Mystic Academy and on also the Beyond Mystic Insider Access Pass. 50% off on all courses, workshops, and the Insider Access Pass until March 31st. And you can use code SPRING50, all in one word, if you'd like to take part in that sale. And I believe the link is in the description of this video. So that's amazing. We've got amazing courses and workshops on the Beyond Mystic Academy, as well as, you know, the Insider Access Pass. We've got special shows, the Beyond the News shows. We've got the Psychic Spies, Navigating the Woo, all kinds of stuff there on the Insider Access Pass. So, okay, I'm going to do a little collective card reading for us all for the month of April. Then we'll get into the 12 signs. So let me see here. I'm going to pull from a few different decks. First, I'm going to pull from the Lenormand. And I love how whenever I pull these Lenormand cards, they're like always exactly right on in alignment with what is going on. Okay. Cool. And I'll pull one more here. This is a new deck that I got recently called the Healing Waters by Rebecca Campbell. And I really, really like this deck a lot. If you're into the oracle cards like me, let's see what we get here. I'm seeing a lot of you guys saying in the chat, you can't sleep or you're oversleeping. Yeah, sleep is definitely being affected for a lot of us with us being in an eclipse season. We are having geomagnetic storms as well, solar flares. So really intense energy. So, okay, for us, for the collective for April, I'll start with my Lenormand cards. And we read these in threes. So we've got the dog, the key, and the snake. Now, when the snake comes up, this is a very Scorpio card, okay? So it doesn't surprise me that the snake just came up. This is about toxicity. This is about jealousy. This is about revenge, okay? And I'm not the kind of person, you guys, to be like saying, you need to cleanse yourself. You have negative energy on you. Like I'm not a fear-based kind of psychic like that. But I'm being honest with you guys that this Scorpio full moon is going to be super, super intense. This eclipse season is super, super intense. And there's a big theme of us of releasing toxicity, okay? And it does have to do with some of our relationships, okay? So this can have to do with friendships, maybe family dynamics, siblings, cousins, business partners, okay? And with the key, there's things being revealed to us that may seem like totally out of left field that we were not expecting at all, okay, about what people's true intentions are. When the snake comes up, there's something we're not seeing clearly. There's someone with the dog, because that can represent other people, that we're maybe not necessarily seeing clearly, okay? So just being honest with yourself about what is being revealed and what is a red flag and what is toxic, okay? Because I'm going to speak like a Scorpio. I am a Scorpio, okay? So I'm just going to say it how it is. If you're listening to this video, then I hope you don't mind me saying that you are a beautiful light worker, star seed, whatever you want to call yourself, okay? And you are someone that is uplifting the planet by being here at this time. And even if you are in maybe a job that doesn't resonate with you, or you're doing something day to day that isn't necessarily what you want to be doing, by you even just being alive here at this time, you are uplifting the planet and you are doing healing work every single day by being a conscious individual and by living a heart-centered life. Okay, so you wouldn't be listening to this astrology video, or you wouldn't be on Beyond Mystic right now if you weren't that person, unless you're just on here for, whatever, unless you're like someone waking up, right? And I believe we are all light workers and we are all star seeds, but some of us have just woken up to that concept before others. When you are on the path of spiritual awakening, when you are on the path of the higher timeline, the age of Aquarius, and I'm just going to say this as a Scorpio, there are energies that do not want you to do that, okay? That want to keep you in a negative place, that want to keep you in a disempowered space. There are agents in the matrix, okay? And I know that may sound like really weird and paranoid for me to say, but let me know if this resonates with you guys, because I have experienced this myself in life, okay? And other people closest to me have also experienced this. And sometimes there's people around us that may not know that something is working through them to try to lower our frequency so that we are not in those empowered light worker starseed roles, okay? Because we are here to be uplifting the planet, to be in joy, to be in love, to be in light. And I wasn't expecting to say this today in the video, but I'm just getting this message very strong. So, some of us can be listening to this right now and going, okay, Meg is being such a freaking intense Scorpio right now with this snake card. Okay. But please pay attention to who is around you, why they are around you, what are their intentions that are starting to be revealed. Okay. We do not have to be friends with everyone. We do not have to please everyone. We do not have to people please everyone. We do not have to save everyone. We just need to walk our talk, be in our loving frequency. And not to say that, it's negative to ever have a negative thought or go through an intense situation. But if somebody says to you, something that is disempowering towards you, or is jealous, or is just straight up weird and a red flag, please pay attention to that. Okay, please pay attention to that, because we've got timelines that are splitting apart. We've got energies of the dark arts that are literally, they have to go off planet soon. This is just what I'm channeling. And they want us to be in a lower vibration so that they can keep feeding off of us. Okay. So just paying attention to the energies within you and around you, that they are loving and they are pure and that they've got your back. Okay. So I hope that makes sense, and hope that resonates with you guys. And also for those of us on the higher timeline, which I think anybody can step into at this point, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, a love for nature, security, wealth, and the Star, bye-bye ghosts of the past, which, by the way, this is the Hero Tarot. There are beautiful things ahead. And this is a message, I don't know if I might have said this in the last Astro Woo as well, or another show recently. There are such beautiful times ahead. And this is a year that Spirit is saying, this is a month and a year that is going to be a bit chaotic. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of triggers. There's a lot of healing. And know, during these times of shift and transition, there are beautiful, beyond our wildest dreams, times ahead. It's prophesized by all the ancients. It is in the astrology, if you believe the astrology, which I'm assuming you do if you're here. Beautiful times are ahead, and they are not that far away. We are in the final push of transition right now. Okay, so be in your value. Right. And with this Uranus-Jupiter conjunction, it's teaching us what is actually a value to be investing in is the new financial system, and being connected to that. And I got to be a little careful here because we're streaming on YouTube and Rumble. So I think you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm not a financial advisor, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. And this is the card of the Age of Aquarius, the Star. So beautiful, beautiful things coming ahead. And last card that we've got is Beneath the Surface from the Healing Waters deck. What's really driving you? True motives, breaking free. Similar to this message. Sorry, I have a problem holding the cards sometimes. I keep hearing Spirit say, what are the true intentions of the people around you? Also, what are your true intentions? What is beneath the surface? What's really driving you? What's driving the others around you? What's driving our leaders? Are you in resonance with that? What are the true motives? And breaking free from anything holding us back, anything that is not for our highest good. So there's a lot of revealing. Wow. With the key, with the beneath the surface, there is a lot of revealing going on this month. And knowing that beautiful, beautiful times are ahead. And this is quite an intense time of healing and things being revealed and us needing to hold space. So this feels like one of the biggest months of the year. So just knowing that it's going to be a very, very high energy. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for us in the collective for the cards, for the month. And okay, now we're going to go into everybody's favorite parts. Well, some people's favorite parts, going through the 12 astrological signs for the month of April 2024. And I'm just going to take a quick sip of water. Bear with me 1 second, you guys. Okay. And we're going to start with the Aries. So Aries, sun, moon, and risings. First of all, the Mercury retrograde, okay, is happening in your sign. It's happening in Aries. Mercury will be retrograde from April 1st to April 25th. So you Aries, you guys are getting blasted this month. Okay. We've got a Mercury retrograde in your sign. We've got a total solar eclipse in your sign, and you're having the full moon in Scorpio in your 8th house of Scorpio. So I don't know how it could get more intense for you guys. Aries, let me know, sun, moon, and risings, how you guys are doing in the live chat and in the comments below, because wowzers, this is a big energy for you guys. So with the Mercury retrograde in your 1st house, you could be feeling physically more affected by this retrograde than most of the other signs. You can really be feeling it in your physical body, maybe like body-wise, feeling a little bit off or more tired than usual. How you present yourself to the world may have some delays or confusion coming up. So just double checking everything that you put out there, Aries, and how you're coming off and, being perceived. Some of you may be feeling many technical communication issues because the 1st house is an angular house. It's the house of self. So it very much affects us. Just double check everything, and you can be feeling a little bit more impatient than usual with this Mercury retrograde. Then we've got the April 8th eclipse. This is going to be happening in your 1st house as well. And this eclipse season, Aries, is very, very potent for you, as we have, not just a new moon eclipse in your sign, but also the March 25th eclipse in your opposite sign. So for Aries, fated life changes and events are expected for you. And any of you Aries born between March 20th to about April 13th will be having what we call eclipse solar return birthday years. Your whole next birthday year is going to be under the influence of this eclipse and can be very powerful and even intense, big life changes. So yeah, the April 8th new moon eclipse is of course happening in your sign, in your 1st house. Okay. So this is a very, very big deal. Also with a stellium of planets in your 1st house in Aries, this is a huge new beginning portal for you guys and very fresh new energy coming into your life, having to do with your very foundation and self. Your physical appearance and how you look to others is likely shifting. I notice that when people have eclipses in their 1st house, they can very much be in the spotlight for being in their authentic self. We also have Chiron, the asteroid called the wounded healer, in your sign, exactly conjunct this eclipse in your 1st house. So some of you Aries may start to be seen as wounded healers or working in the healing arts. Any wounds that you may have around your foundation, self, appearance, expression are going through healing. And your ruler Mars at the time of that eclipse is conjunct Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is about practicality, responsibility, and commitment. So it's important for yourself to be honest about what is it that you're committing to moving forward, right? Then we've got the full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd. And for you Aries, this is happening in your 8th house. And as I said, could this month get any more intense for you? I don't think so, because you're going to have this very full moon, very intense full moon in your 8th house of Scorpio. You are going through a major release with this full moon. Something very big can be revealed to you at this time from your own shadow or from the hidden side of life. The moon is in square to Pluto, the dispositor of this moon, in your 11th house. So deep-seated issues or revealing can be coming up around your friends, group associations, goals, and dreams. The other dispositor, which is the ruler of the full moon in Scorpio, Mars, is in Pisces in your 12th house. So this full moon is a great time to make for deep healing, rest, and shadow work. Some of you will be having a return on investment or inheritance as well, because those things are ruled by the 8th house. Okay, so I hope that resonated for you, Aries, and I'm now going to pull a card for you guys for the month of April. So for Aries, we've got plunge. Don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in. This is, and it really is like a no holding back time, just going for it energy for you, Aries. You guys are the stars of the show, with us having a new moon solar eclipse in your sign, us being in the influence of that for the whole next year. You guys are one of the leadership signs, so it's very, very important, which you guys are usually naturally very confident, to not hold back and to go for your dreams. Just go for it, okay? Just be yourself. Make the changes that you know in life you are called to make, okay? And a lot of you, I'm feeling, are going to be stepping into leadership positions and things that feel more joyful for you. So I hope that resonates with you, Aries, and wishing you a very, very blessed and magical month of April. Okay, and now we're going to move to the Tauruses, Taurus, sun, moon, and risings for the month of April here. Also for the Tauruses, it is a really big month, okay? And that's because we have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction happening in your sign, Taurus, sun, moon, and risings. The exact conjunction will be on April 20th. And with this rare conjunction happening in your sign, there is a huge opportunity, personal change, and growth happening in your life. For some of you, this can be rapid and very unexpected happenings. Jupiter is our beliefs, blessings, abundance, and expansion in astrology. So your very self and identity is transforming massively. And also for you Tauruses, the Mercury retrograde in Aries from April 1st to April 25th is happening in your 12th house. So this may feel possibly really confusing for you. I'm just going to be honest, because the 12th house deals with fantasies, illusions, confusion, mental health. Mercury, ruler of our mind, communication, clarity, is retrograde there. So you can be feeling really, Tauruses, like more fantasy oriented than usual. You can be feeling really, really creative. And because the 12th house also rules rest, recuperation, sleep, some of you can be feeling more tired or even exhausted during this retrograde. So getting proper sleep is really important for you. Subconscious issues and things from the past may be resurfacing, okay? Because the 12th house deals with the past, even past lives. So people and things from the past can be resurfacing for you to review and reflect on. Make extra time for rest during that retrograde. Then we've got Tauruses, the new moon solar eclipse on April 8th is happening in your 12th house as well, because it's also in the sign of Aries, also in your 12th house. And this is the house of Pisces ruled areas of life, spirituality, creativity, healing, behind the scenes work, and our subconscious. You are having new beginnings and fresh new energy over the course of the next year being brought into these areas of life. Tauruses, you may be starting new spiritual or creative or even healing practices over the next year, and it is a good time to do so. You're being invited to go deep within yourself, to your subconscious level, and do healing work. You can have major things revealed about yourself, past lives as well over the next year. And to be in alignment, make spirituality a big focus of your life. Spending time alone can actually be good for you at this time and over the course of the next year. Many of you may feel some sense of isolation or detachment from the outer world when we've got eclipses in our 12th house. We've got Chiron exactly conjunct this eclipse in your 12th house, so major deep-seated healing is taking place for you, Tauruses, in those Aries-ruled areas of life. Your foundation, your sense of self, confidence, inner authority, and boundaries, okay? And also, the 12th house rules faraway places, sacred sites. So many Tauruses will be drawn during this eclipse season and over the next year to visiting sacred sites, doing sacred sites travel, or going on spiritual retreats. It's a very good time to do so. And also, since the 12th house is behind the scenes work, you can be very creative, creating new projects that you create behind the scenes and then present out to the world. Also, Tauruses, for the full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd, this is happening in your 7th house. The 7th house is our commitments, our relationships, and our aesthetic. So you are releasing things in those areas of life that no longer serve you. And Scorpio rules toxicity, toxic people, clients, and commitments. So those are being revealed to you. Some of you Tauruses can be going through breakups and divorces that can be a little bit dramatic, okay? Not that I want to create that for you guys, okay? I'm just reading the astrology. I'm just a Scorpio reading the astrology, okay? And I will tell it like it is. I'm not going to, sugarcoat things for you. It's a very intense full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd, okay? The dispositor of this full moon, Pluto, is right on your midheaven, Tauruses, and square the moon. So you could be experiencing power struggles and secrets being revealed in your work, successful people, power struggles with them or with your colleagues. And if you are in a healthy relationship, your love partner or business partner can be going through a very big transformation and even ending in life, okay? So that's what I've got for all my Tauruses out there. And now I'm going to pull a card for us Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Risings for the month of April. Let's see what we get here. Tauruses are going through a lot. There's a lot of changes for the Tauruses. The Mist. Ooh, I like that card. I've never gotten that card before. Trust your inner compass. Be led from within. Okay. That's a very magical card, the Mist. So what I'm feeling from that is because we've got this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction happening in the sign of Taurus, which is very energetic, electric, unexpected, unpredictable. That's like the opposite energy of Taurus, right? So you're going to be having a lot of changes and realizations and opportunities coming up for you, Taurus, where the most important thing is to pay attention to your inner compass. And hello to Red Pill Rooster in the chat. Very nice to see you here. You say, just ended a toxic friendship yesterday. Makes sense with the astrology of Tauruses right now. So, following that inner compass, being led from within. And for some reason, I'm feeling like Tauruses are being tested right now with other people's projections onto them. I feel like, and I'm just getting this intuitively, I feel like a lot of Tauruses are maybe doing something in life because it's something that other people want you to be doing, or having a relationship or a friendship because it's what, other people are making you feel is like the right thing. But the most important thing is to pay attention to what you are feeling, your own heart space, your inner compass. And if something is not resonating with you, let it go. Let it go. Sweep it off of your aura on to the next thing. Okay, so Taurus is really big month for you. And most important thing ever is to follow your inner guidance. First and foremost, don't give away your energy, your sovereignty over to anybody else, okay? So happy April Tauruses, and happy birthday to all the April Tauruses. And now we move to the Geminis. So Geminis, your ruler Mercury is going retrograde from April 1st to April 25th. Isn't it just your favorite time, you Geminis and Virgos, when we've got the Mercury retrogrades? Because it affects you guys the most. So this will affect you more than the other signs. And this retrograde is happening in your 11th house. So it's time to review and reflect on your friends, group associations, goals, and dreams. Mercury is in Aries, and Aries rules conflict. Okay, so Geminis, there can be some conflict coming up, some miscommunications with friends or community. Also, the 11th house rules technology, so back everything up. Back up your computer, back up your phone, make sure everything technological is in a good place, because things can be funky when we've got Mercury retrograde in our 11th house. And also with Mercury retrograde in your 11th house, not the best time to be making big decisions about the future, because the 11th house rules the future. Okay, then for all my Gemini, sun, moon, and risings out there, we've got the new moon solar eclipse on April 8th is also happening in your 11th house, okay? So you are experiencing over the course of the next year, new beginnings, fresh new energy in those 11th house areas that I just mentioned. You can be making new friends and meeting new like-minded community. Some of you can start working in a team or group. And with a big stellium of planets in Aries in your 11th house, some of you can be stepping into leadership positions, because Aries rules leadership, in groups professionally, or even in your personal, communities. It is a great time over the next year, Geminis, to be working online, to be developing your social media presence if you feel to, okay? Some people can even go viral online with this transit, Geminis, or start to work more online. And this is a fantastic transit to be networking and going to conference type events in your personal interest or professional field. Opportunities can come forward for you when doing so. And some of you Geminis may be really focused on humanitarianism pursuits. That can be coming up for you. And your goals and aspirations are massively transforming, okay? Then we've got the very intense, dun, 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 full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd that I was talking about earlier. If you were listening earlier, if not, maybe do a little rewind and listen to that, because I think it's going to be the most intense full moon of the year. And this is going to be happening in your 6th house. This is the house of health, routines, and day-to-day work. So Geminis, you are going through a big and intense completion in this area with this full moon in Scorpio. Some of you may be experiencing power struggles in work. Some of you will be ending jobs, careers with this full moon in your 6th house, and its dispositor Mars in your 10th house. So really, really good time to do a cleanse if you feel to, because, and I'm talking about a physical cleanse, because the 6th house of Virgo rules cleansing, nutrition, health, and the sign of Scorpio rules purging and really deep detox. So in medical astrology, actually a very good time for you to be doing a cleanse. And at the time of this full moon, you're really aware of what are you passionate about, right? Scorpio rules our passions, not just intensity, but passion. What are you passionate about? And are you doing your passions day to day? What needs to be changed so that you're doing more of your passions day to day? You could have a crisis or release of spiritual religious beliefs with Pluto in your 9th squaring this full moon, right? So you could realize that something that you've believed spiritually or religiously might not even have been true, right? Or you could have, if you've had some kind of tie to an organized religion, there could be something very big or dark revealed around that certain religion around this full moon in Scorpio. So hope that resonated for you, Geminis. And now I'm going to pull a card for all y'all for the month of April. And thank you guys so much for your lovely comments in the live chat. Ooh, okay. Okay, I swear to God, one of my decks right beside me, just like some of the cards just moved by themselves, and there was nothing touching it, and there's nothing blowing in the air. I just had something move on my desk here by itself as I pulled this card for you Geminis, okay, which I am British in descent, and the Selkies are a mythical elemental fairy creature from the Celtic heritage, okay? And that's weird that those cards just move by themselves because I've had some pretty kind of very magical experiences with Selkies in my life. So the Selkie is present for you. And Geminis, this might be a mythical creature that you might want to research more in your own time and learn a bit more about. Okay, Selkies are master like shapeshifters. Okay, and they can be positive ones, and there also can be negative ones. The keywords here are come out of hiding, embrace who you really are. Okay, and it's interesting because the Selkies are very talented mythical creatures. They can shapeshift into basically whatever they want. And I swear to you, you guys, I've actually experienced a Selkie in my life one time when I was in Scotland. It was very, very trippy. And Geminis, this creature actually reminds me of you guys because you guys are multi-talented, multi-faceted people. Okay. So what I'm feeling from this is like, and it's interesting because you've got that full moon in Scorpio in your 6th house. Are there any passions in your life that you're maybe not expressing or you're maybe not giving time to? Okay. What is it that you need to show more of in terms of yourself in your life? Is that your magical nature? Okay. There can be big work changes happening for you with that full moon in Scorpio. So just remember to embrace who you really are, be honest about your value and your passions, and also maybe you want to look into the Selkie and your magical nature and magical gifts, okay? Because there's a very magical energy around the Geminis right now. This is a very auspicious creature to be receiving, so know that magic is around you and the Selkies are around you. So love you, Geminis, and hope that resonated. And my cat just walked into the room. So if you guys hear any meows, that's, I think, Ocean. Is that you, Ocean? Yes, it is. Okay, Cancers. Cancer, sun, moon, and risings. How are you guys doing out there? We're going to start talking about the Mercury retrograde in Aries that we're going to have from April 1st to April 25th. So for you Cancers, this is going to be in your 10th house. Can you guys hear Ocean meowing? Do you want to come up here, Ocean? I'm just going to pick him up. 1 second, you guys, or else he's going to keep meowing. Come here. Come here. Okay. So he wants to say hi to all you guys. Say hi, Ocean. He's so funny. Okay, so Cancers, sorry for the interruption. The Mercury retrograde is going to be happening in your 10th house. And this is the house of work, career, public image, and your long-term goals, your elders and parents. So this is a good time for you to reflect and review these areas of life. There can be unexpected delays in your work and your goals, or confusion that comes up with work, weird stuff going on. So just be, really patient in your work life. Also be patient with your parents if they are alive. And not too intense of a house to be having the Mercury retrograde in, but it is going to affect your work and career. Okay. And you're also going to be maybe changing some of your long-term goals into the future. So Cancers, also the new moon solar eclipse on April 8th is happening in your 10th house as well, where you've also got Aries. And so you are experiencing new beginnings, fresh new energy in these 10th house areas of life. Many of you Cancers are starting new jobs, careers, and/or receiving promotions at this time of the eclipse, but also during the course of the whole next year. Some of you will even be stepping into entrepreneurship, okay? Because the 10th house is very much about entrepreneurship, leadership positions. For some of you, these roles can include empowering others, empowerment kind of jobs, as Aries rules that in astrology. Also jobs or careers in the healing arts field as Chiron, the wounded healer, master healer asteroid, is exactly conjunct this eclipse. So some of you Cancers are really, and you Cancers are naturally very inclined in the healing arts, but getting more and more into the healing arts if you feel called to. Your parental figures can be going through significant changes over the next year period where you may need to be there for them in a certain way, or they're going through a big life shift. And some people with this transit can become known publicly during the course of the next year, or their public image becomes greater. Okay, so you guys are very much in the spotlight at this moment. It's a good time to create realistic long-term goals and act on them. Okay. We've also got the full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd. This is happening in your 5th house. Full moons are about release, completion, and illumination. So for you Cancers, this is in the 5th house of creative projects, children, your inner child, romance, fun, and play. Some of you Cancers will be ending scorpionic, plutonic love affairs, okay? If you're in a healthy relationship, then this full moon can bring fun and more playfulness into your relationship. You can be feeling really creative and inspired at the time of that full moon. And this is definitely a lighter house to be having a full moon in Scorpio that's square Pluto, in a T-square to Pluto. So you guys are quite lucky with this. You do have the dispositor of the full moon, Pluto, in your 8th house of Scorpio in square to it. Okay, so there is some kind of big release that is going on, even though it's not in the most intense house. And yeah, in general, Cancers, ever since Pluto entered Aquarius, Pluto is in your 8th house. So you guys are going through a huge period this year and over the next few years of transformation, empowerment, and even greater spiritual development and awakening. So hope that resonated with you Cancers, and I'm going to pull a card for you guys as well. Let's see what we get. Puff 109 says, hello, says, harness the moon, Cancers. Yes. Cancers get most affected by the full moon. So also, and I'm happy that you said that, Puff 109, Cancers, with that full moon being in Scorpio and the moon is your ruler, just, you know, you're lucky that you have it happening in the 5th house. Just take it easy, okay? Take it easy. Have some fun. Be playful, okay? Because people will be really on edge and feeling intense, and you don't want to take that on. So cool. I've never gotten this card before, and we just got it for the Cancers. Isle of Avalon. Healing, returning to wholeness, transformation. So wow, Cancers, for those of you who may not know, the ancient Isle of Avalon is in England, and it's a sacred site that's very magical, that's associated with the ancient Avalon priests and priestesses and King Arthur. So similar to the Geminis, okay, you've just gotten a very auspicious card that's very much about magic and healing and transformation. And what did I tell you guys? You've got Pluto in your 8th house now. So Cancers, you guys can be feeling really like, I'm feeling intuitively like a lot of you know your path ahead. Not many of you are confused about, and let me know what you guys, what you Cancers think in the comments. I feel like you guys know what you need to be doing, okay? And you're either doing it or you're just about to start doing that. And I feel like a lot of this has to do with, you know, work and career with the eclipse in your 10th house. A lot of you are changing jobs and careers and are going to start doing more magical type things, or being in your magical gifts, or even if it's not necessarily a spiritual based career. Sorry, I just heard a really loud noise from outside. That was weird. Even if it's not a spiritual based career, you stepping into your magic. Does this make sense for you, Cancers? Dion DB says, I identify with this, Meg. So yeah, very auspicious card. Similar to the Geminis, you're remembering how magical you are, and you're not settling for anything less than what your value is and what you know you should be doing. Okay, so hope that resonated with you Cancers. And we're now going to move to the Leos. Okay, so Leo, Sun, Moon, and Risings. First of all, we've got the Mercury retrograde in Aries from April 1st to April 25th, and this is happening in your ninth house. So this is a time of review and reflection on your beliefs, higher learning, your higher self, consciousness and connection, religious beliefs, if there are any, and foreign travel. The sign of Aries is our foundations and self. So what beliefs do you identify with and why? Okay, very important for you to be reflecting on that during the retrograde if you want to be in alignment with the retrograde energies. And major revelations can be coming up for you around this retrograde. Be aware of not coming off as super preachy with your beliefs. Sometimes when we got a Mercury retrograde in our ninth house, we can be like really preachy in our beliefs because it's the house of beliefs. So just being mindful and communicating clearly, honoring other people's beliefs. You know, not everyone has to have the exact same belief as us. Also being mindful of any foreign travel, okay, that you may be doing. This is the house of foreign travel with a Mercury retrograde there. So Leo, not the most ideal time for foreign travel, but you know, as I said earlier, life happens. So if you are going to be traveling, just please double check, triple check everything, okay? Then we've got the new moon solar eclipse on April 8th for you, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Risings is happening in your ninth house as well. So you're experiencing new beginnings, fresh new energy over the course of the next year in the ninth house ruled areas of life. This is an eclipse season, but also whole next year where you can feel really guided to do foreign travel. That is life-changing, where you will be gaining wisdom through that experience, and sacred sites are very highlighted for you. This is a great time to be taking courses and diving deep into studying subjects, and you can be attracting new teachers and mentors that are in alignment with you. With Chiron in an exact conjunction to this eclipse, you are healing beliefs that no longer serve you and any issues with organized religion if you have had bad experiences with that in your past. There can be a major, even shocking change in your beliefs and spirituality at this time with the eclipse in your ninth house. And also during this eclipse, Saturn and Mars are in a very strong conjunction in your eighth house. Whenever we've got Mars in the eighth house, we're releasing very effortlessly because Mars is one of the rulers of Scorpio. So there's a very big weight that is coming off of your shoulders spiritually and energetically during this eclipse season and even over the course of the next year. And if you are a writer or a publisher of any sort, this is a great time to be publishing new works as the ninth house rules publishing. And as we get into the full moon in Scorpio, which is exact on April 23rd, this is going to be happening in your fourth house. There may be something intense happening with a family member of yours at the time of that full moon. Full moon in Scorpio rules secrets, so something could be revealed about your family, ancestors, or country of origin. Pluto is going to be in square to the sun in your 10th house, so your parents and elders are very much highlighted and of focus. This is a great full moon to do some deep emotional healing work with it being in your fourth house. Okay, and I'm going to pull a card for all the Leo, Sun, Moon, and Risings for the month of April. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, really cool cards that we're getting today. The Well Maidens. Look at how beautiful that is. Kindness, respect, reverence, and compassion. I feel, and I was feeling this when I was creating my notes for this video today, I feel like there's a lot of healing energy this month for you Leos. And it has a lot to do with your spirituality, your connection to religion. If you've ever been in an organized religion, or maybe some of you were even in cults, I'm picking that up intuitively. And there's a very big healing going on with that, power being taken back from any organized religions that you were maybe a part of that were not, positive or for your highest good. There's a beautiful healing frequency coming through for you guys. So, and a huge, as I said earlier, burden being released. So amazing, amazing month for you to be doing any kind of healing work. I would say in particular, like emotional healing work and working with the waters. This card is the well maiden. So for you, Leos, taking salt baths, drinking really good water, going into a lake or a stream, water feels like a very important element for you to be connecting with to gain clarity and be in alignment of release for your highest good. So I hope that resonates with you, Leos, and I'm sending lots and lots of love your way. And just some comments I wanted to bring up here. I think some of you Cancers were saying, Cat Links, yes, new career in human design and energy healing. You are right on, Meg. That's awesome. Congratulations. And Susan here says, love this message, Meg. I have been feeling this. Thank you. Happy that it's resonating with you. Okay, now we're going to move to the Virgos. I always talk in a British accent. I think when we get to the Virgos, for some reason, I don't know why that is. But okay, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Just going to take a sip of my drink. My organic ginger ale. So, okay, for you Virgos, your ruler Mercury is going retrograde. So this will affect you even more so than most of the other signs. You and Gemini are ruled by the planet Mercury. And this Mercury retrograde in Aries is happening in your 8th house. So reviewing and reflection time on your hidden self and even your inner demons and shadow side can be coming up for you. You can be very aware of your shadow and what it's needing, what's coming up around that during this retrograde. And you can be feeling emotionally even very extreme during this time. So making time for extra self-care during the retrograde, Virgo, because definitely some big things are coming up to be revealed for you at this time. And hello, Jill. Nice to see you in the chat. I am a Virgo moon. Wow. So this is a very powerful retrograde and eclipse year for you, Jill. Nice to see you. The new moon solar eclipse for Virgos on April 8th is also happening in your 8th house. So you're experiencing new beginnings and fresh new energy and opportunity in the Scorpio ruled areas of life. Rebirth, transformation, empowerment, merging with others, shared finances, hidden money such as taxes, inheritances, and sex and intimacy. This is the most intense house in astrology. So Virgos, you are in for a very intense next year of deep transformation where you are changing to your very core. You are having a very deep spiritual awakening at this time. Even if you've already gone through your spiritual awakening, you're going through another one on an even deeper level. It is a good time to be getting into investing. Okay, I'm not a financial expert, but just saying astrologically, 8th house rules investing. Many of you may even start to do full-time trading, investing as a big life change or big new part of your life. And in the 8th house, you can be more drawn to the hidden side of life over the next year, the mysteries, conspiracies, macabre side of life. With Chiron, the wounded healer, exactly conjunct this eclipse in your 8th house of intensity and deep healing, you can have great breakthroughs, Virgos, over the next year in terms of your wounds around the areas of life that Aries rules. Has your power ever been taken away? Have you ever experienced sexual abuse or trauma? Have men wounded you? When could you have been more brave and independent? This is where you're taking your power back, and a lot of you are healing from some of those situations. And if you haven't done healing work from any of those situations that I just listed, if you've had those, it's a very fantastic year to be doing psychotherapy or deep spiritual healing practices on a regular basis. We've also got the full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd is happening in your 3rd house. So, full times are about release, Full moons are times of release and illumination. And for you, this is in the third house areas of life. Communication, friends, siblings, your local community, and studies. The third house is also very busy, so there could be a lot of things coming up for you. It could be really hectic and even chaotic, Virgos, around that Scorpio full moon. Be mindful, as this is the house of communication and its ruler, Mercury, is going to be retrograde, okay? So good to focus on your friends, your siblings, your local community. You could be really busy and just extra watch any communication, anything you're posting online. Okay. And now I'm going to pull a card for the Virgos for the month of, oh, we just got one that fell out, for the month of April. What do we have here, Virgos? Ooh, a lot of healing cards. The Healing Lagoon. Look at how beautiful that is. Rejuvenate, recovery, time to heal. It's safe to stop. So, wow, I definitely feel, you guys, Virgos, everything that we've got going on this month is, other than the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction, the Mercury retrograde, the April 8th eclipse, the full moon in Scorpio, they're all a Scorpio energy for you. You're having the retrograde and the eclipse in your 8th house, full moon in Scorpio. This is very much about deep healing, rejuvenation, and recovery. And Spirit's making me feel about how, Virgos is one of the signs that rules healing and the healing arts. Its opposite sign is Pisces. So Virgo and Pisces is the healing axis in astrology. So you guys are, I feel like, releasing a lot of other people's stuff. That's what I'm picking up from this card. Like, I think it's good to be going to healing arts professionals and therapists if that resonates with you, but I also feel like it's good for you to be spending time alone and reflecting within and letting go of other people's stuff, being comfortable with you just as you are, and really loving yourself, giving yourself self-love. Deep, deep self-love, because you Virgos give a lot to others and you guys are natural healers. So just make time for rejuvenation and recovery, and also working with the water this month. So hope that resonates with you Virgos. And now we're going to move to the Libras. Libra, sun, moon, and risings for the month of April. So for you Libras, Mercury retrograde in Aries from April 1st to 25th is happening in your 7th house. You are reviewing, reflecting on your commitments, committed relationships, and aesthetic. This is a classic transit for exes from the past coming out of the woodworks. Okay, Libras, so I'm just going to tell it like it is. When we've got a Mercury retrograde in our 7th house, there can be exes coming up out of nowhere, or people from our past coming up out of nowhere. So just being mindful of that. Also with a Mercury retrograde in your 7th house, there can be misunderstandings, miscommunication in your love life or with business partners. So just like I've been saying for everybody, double check, triple check everything, okay? Anything you sign, anything you communicate. We've also got the new moon solar eclipse on April 8th. This is happening in your 7th house, the 7th house of Libra, your house. So you're experiencing new beginnings and fresh new energy in the Libra ruled areas of life. For a lot of you, new committed relationships that are in alignment with you are coming forward. Woohoo! So if you're single, know that there's some suitors that are about to be coming forward. Okay. And yeah, I hear Spirit saying, let go of the old and in with the new. So I feel like very fast you guys can be getting into committed relationships, even getting engaged, or maybe even married with, Aries rules things happening very fast in your 7th house of love. You could move in with someone very fast over the next year, get engaged, or things just move very fast. So not saying that it's necessarily good, but, sometimes things move fast. So just watching, paying attention to everything as that happens. The seventh house also represents open enemies, and they are being exposed to you over the next year, if there are any in your life. Open enemies that we are aware of, that we know don't really have our back, right? So there may be something coming up with them. And when we have eclipses happening in our seventh house, sometimes people close to us are going through a huge life change because it's the house of others. And they're going through a shift where we need to be there for them. You can naturally be feeling to change your personal style and aesthetic in a new way over the course of the next year. How you look and dress does matter, and you Libras know this. You guys know that how we look, how we present ourselves is the value that we are giving off and what we are attracting, right? So yeah, you can be changing your style, maybe changing the colors, clothes that you wear. Then we've also got the full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd is happening in your second house. And this is the Taurus ruled areas of life. It's interesting because this full moon is in Scorpio. Scorpio is a financial sign in astrology. The second house of Taurus is the opposite house of the eighth house of Scorpio. So it's all about your finances and possessions and values, okay? So you may be ending an income stream with this full moon in Scorpio, or ending a debt that is now being paid off. You can be learning about a new income stream that resonates with you, or a form of investment. And the second house rules our values and self-worth. So with this intense healing full moon, it is good to look at your values, self-worth, and see if anything in that area does not serve you and needs to be let go, that's holding you back. Okay, hope that resonated with you, Libras. And now I'm going to pull a card for you guys for the month of April. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, the Libras got Atlantis. Wow, we got some really magical cards coming through today. Keep the big vision. Stay in alignment as you grow. And actually what I'm feeling from this Libra is with, you know, the eclipse in your seventh house, the Mercury retrograde in your seventh house, I feel like there's relationships, like soulmate relationships coming through for you over the course of the next year. And a lot of you have a connection to Atlantis. And these can be partners that you were with in the time of Atlantis. And I'm feeling Spirit say that there's gifts that a lot of you are connecting with and sharing at this time that you did in Atlantis. So let me know if this resonates with you guys. Keeping the big vision, stay in alignment as you grow, right? And Atlantis is a very pure and high energy. So being mindful of the people that you surround yourself with that eclipse in your seventh house. Are those people high energy, positive energy, or are they low, right? Or with the full moon in your second house of your values, the values and self-worth that you have for yourself, is that high vibrational or is it low? And are there values that need to be processed out that no longer serve? So hope that resonates with you, Libras. And now we're going to move to my fellow Scorpios. Scorpio, sun, moon, and risings. So for us, the Mercury retrograde in Aries that we are having from April 1st to 25th is happening in our sixth house. This is a positive time to be reviewing and reflecting on our health, routines, and day-to-day work. We can be having some delays in health appointments or feel physically more tired than usual, so it is important to be doing extra self-care. And there can also be some delays or miscommunications coming up in our work because it's one of the work houses. So being mindful of that. We've also, Scorpios, got the new moon solar eclipse on April 8th. This is happening in our sixth house. So you're experiencing new beginnings, fresh new energy, and opportunity in the Virgo ruled areas of life. Over the next year is an amazing time to start a new healthy lifestyle choice or shift. This is one of the best times to be doing a cleanse or detox. Because this new moon eclipse is in Aries, and Aries rules physical fitness and physical activity, it's an amazing time to start new fitness routines and practices. Things like martial arts in particular can be very good. Just be careful, Scorpios, with us having this eclipse in our 6th house, that we don't become obsessed with health and wellness and what we're eating, because Scorpios, we are the sign that rules obsession and passion. So we can get very obsessed about whatever the current thing we're doing is, right? So just being mindful of that. And if you've been going through physical or mental health issues, they can be resolving over the course of the next year with this eclipse in our 6th house. Many Scorpios will start new jobs and careers, and I think more entrepreneurship as this is happening in the sign of Aries. Also, Scorpios, the 6th house rules pets and animals, so you can be spending more time over the course of the next year with animals. Healing therapy with animals is very good for you, and it's a good time to get a new pet. And then we have the full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd. Okay, so we are going to be in the spotlight, front and center. This is our annual full moon, and it's extremely intense. Okay, so Scorpios, we got it in our sign. We've got our ruler Pluto in a T square to the sun and moon. Us Scorpios are already very passionate and intense, and we are feeling even more so at this time. It is a very empowering full moon for us, but it comes with an initiation of a potential big challenge and truth that must be faced. Power struggles can be coming up at this time, or very dark secrets can be coming up as well. This full moon, of course, is in our 1st house, so we are in the spotlight and being illuminated, and make time to honestly evaluate your life, and are you in an empowered state or not? Okay, Scorpios? And now I'm going to pull a card for us Scorpio, sun, moon, and risings for the month of April. Let's see what we get here. The rainbow. Oh, well, isn't that nice for us little dark, intense Scorpios? We've got the rainbow card. Sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. Okay, well, Scorpios got a very, very positive card, even though we got the full moon in Scorpio happening in our sign, even though we've got the eclipse happening in our 6th house, which is not necessarily the most fun house. This is something very positive coming forward for us this month. This is very exciting. Wow. Okay. So important for us Scorpios to be open to some sort of sense of relief or positive new beginning that is coming forward. Okay. D.E. Saccone says rebirth. Yeah, we can be feeling like we're releasing something really big, and we could be feeling like completely reborn. We can also be having synchronicities around rainbows, or maybe we see a very magical rainbow over the course of the next month. Doing rainbow healing, doing rainbow meditation, chakra meditation can be very good for us as well. So, okay, Scorpios, there's something very positive coming up for us. Really nice for us to be getting this card. Hope that resonated with you. And we got a few more signs. We're going to move to the Saggies, to the Sagittarius. So Saggies, first of all, the Mercury retrograde in Aries that we are having from April 1st to 25th is happening in your 5th house. Sagittarius, you may be having lovers or exes from the past coming out of the woodworks. Okay, the 7th house and the 5th house deal with lovers and romance. So just be mindful of that. Okay, there can be some universe tests coming through in some exes coming back out of nowhere. So be honest about if there are exes coming forward, remind yourself why that relationship ended, or, is that person in a space where you can create a positive new relationship, or is it just really no longer in alignment? So the 5th house rules love, romance, creativity, confidence, and our inner child and children. You can be experiencing confusion, misunderstandings in love or with children. It's a good time to start to review your relationship with fun, play, and creativity. Also, the new moon solar eclipse on April 8th is happening in your 5th house. So you're experiencing new beginnings and fresh new energy and opportunity in the Leo-ruled areas of life. Sagittarius, your creativity is on fire over the course of the next year. Your passions in life are being reinvigorated and new ones can be starting for you. Many of you will be starting new romances over the next year, and you can be feeling really romantic and fun. Those of you in committed relationships will have more playfulness, fun, and romance, and it can feel like the first time. Who sings that song, you guys? Feels like the very first time. I was feeling that song with you, Saggies, so intensely. So there's like play and romance and fun with you having the eclipses in your 5th house over the course of the next year, which is really, really awesome. Saggies, you are extra fertile at this time, whether you are a man or a woman in medical astrology, when we've got the eclipses in our 5th house. So yeah, some of you will actually be having children. And this is also an amazing year to be confident and showcase your gifts and talents for the world. It's a very positive energy for you. So very nice that you guys have the eclipses in your 5th house. Rebecca says foreigner. Thank you guys. Yeah, it's foreigner. Feels like the first time. So that's what Saggies are going to be feeling like. Very nice for you guys. Okay. And yeah, and Jerry's saying, I won't be having children. Yeah, I'm talking more for the younger Saggies. Some of them will be having children, okay, or really starting to realize that children is something that they want to have in life. Also, Sagittarius, we've got the full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd, and this is happening in your 12th house. Your subconscious and hidden self is highlighted. Pay attention to your dreams at this time and your intuition. You may feel a need to be more behind the scenes, relaxing and resting at the time of the full moon in Scorpio. This is, even though it's a super intense full moon, it's a really good one for you to be doing healing, therapy, and cleansing spiritual work, with it happening in your 12th house. And there can be very deep things being revealed to you from the subconscious level. So just being open to that. Okay, Saggies. And I am going to pull a card for you guys for the month of April. DigiBean says, Sag, Sun, and Moon, I'm feeling the creativity in spades. That's awesome. Happy that you're feeling it. Ooh, okay. You can't make this stuff up. It feels like the first time. Look at what we got for the Saggies. The sweet waters, sensuality, romance, enjoyment, fertility. Did I not just say that? And balance. So Saggies, this is, as we get into this April 8th eclipse, this new moon eclipse over the course of the next year, this is a positive time for you guys. This is what, whenever I see people having eclipses in their 5th house, as a Scorpio, I get a little bit jealous in a loving way, because it's the house of fun and romance and enjoyment and creativity. So this is like a really positive time for you, okay? And if there's anything in your life that's making you feel like it's not a positive time, and obviously there's, you know, challenges in life that come up, but if there's anything unnecessary that's like weighing you down, get it out of there, cleanse it out, because this is a time for you to be enjoying life, having fun, being romantic, and enjoying yourself. So this is an awesome card for the Saggies, and I hope that resonated with you guys. Next, we move to the Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Risings. How are you guys doing out there? First of all, we've got a Mercury retrograde in Aries from April 1st to 25th, and this is going to be happening in your 4th house, okay? Aries is the sign of conflict, impulsiveness, impatience. So you Cappies may be having some issues arising with family members or who you're living with at the moment, or even having to do with your home itself or the area surrounding your home. It's a good time to review and reflect on where you live, what's going on with your family, and your emotional well-being. The new moon solar eclipse on April 8th is also happening in your 4th house, so you are experiencing new beginnings and fresh new energy in those Cancer-ruled areas of life. Over the next year, many of you Capricorns will move homes, sell homes, buy property, or renovate your home. This is a fantastic time to be doing feng shui. Investing in things that are ruled by Cancer can come up as well. Some of you Capricorns can be starting new families, having children, and you guys are also more fertile than usual over the course of the whole next year. It would be good for you in this period to be spending quality time with your family. With Chiron, the wounded healer asteroid, exactly conjunct this eclipse, major healing breakthroughs are occurring for you, all in regards to family, if there's been any fights, disagreements, or traumas or wounds. It's a very good time over the next year also to be connecting to your ancestral roots and culture. The full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd is happening in your 11th house. So this is a super intense and revealing full moon for all of us. And for you Cappies, it's in your 11th house of friends, group associations, and your dreams and goals. Okay. You can be feeling very focused on the future and how you would like that to look. Some of you may even be ending toxic friendships at that time around that Scorpio full moon. So hope that resonated with you Capricorns, and let's pull a card for you guys for the upcoming month ahead. Ooh, we also got this for the Aries. I think we got this card for the Aries, if I'm not mistaken. Aquarius, we've got another, sorry, not Aquarius, Capricorns, we've got a second card, the same. So you've got plunge. Don't hold back. It's time. Go for it. Dive in. Okay. So this is really cool. I feel like with you guys as well, there are major life changes going on because, you know, the eclipses are in the sign of Aries and Libra, but those are cardinal signs and you are also a cardinal sign. So I feel like there's a lot of new opportunities coming forward for you guys. I'm hearing spirits say to be leaders in your family unit and also to be leaders professionally if you wish to be, and to just go for it. Okay. To dive into whatever resonates with you and don't let things hold you back. This is not a time of just sitting around waiting for something to happen, Capricorns. This is going for what feels good for you, full on, 100%, full steam ahead. This is a yes card, okay? So if there's anything you've been wondering about, like, should I do that thing that I've been thinking about? This is a yes, okay? So hope that resonates with you, Cappies. And now we're going to move to the Aquarians. And before we get into the Aquarians, Element 1959 says, Meg's readings are amazing. She's so good. I need to schedule another. Thank you so much, Element. That's a very sweet comment. And Unexpected Blessing says, fantastic reading, Meg. I am Virgo and I totally feel exhausted. Time to heal myself. Thanks for all the work you do. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate your positive comments. So, okay, for the Aquarius sun, moon, and risings, we've got the Mercury retrograde in Aries from April 1st to 25th is happening in your third house. This is one of the two houses ruled by Mercury. Okay, so Mercury rules the third house and also rules the sixth house. This is your mind. This is communication. This is social media. This is friendship and networking and your siblings. So Aquarians, you may be feeling this Mercury retrograde a lot more than the rest of us, and you can be having a lot more kind of hiccups happening in life, delays, confusion, miscommunication. It's just part of a Mercury retrograde. So just surrender to it, okay? If there's any miscommunications that come up, just re-explain yourself. Make sure you're being clear on everything. Try not to sign any important documents if possible. Okay, and be very, very extra careful when you're driving and make sure everything is good with your car at this time. Okay, so also we've got the new moon solar eclipse on April 8th is happening as well in your third house. So you're experiencing new beginnings and fresh new energy in the Gemini ruled areas of life. Third house rules cars and short distance modes of transportation. So it's actually a good year, the year ahead, to buy or sell a car, to do any work that needs to be done on cars. You can feel the urge to start doing more short distance trips, road trips, and it would be actually a good time for you to do so. It's a good time to start studying something new. New interests and courses can be coming up for you at this time. As the third house rules communication, some of you may start learning a new language. And as this eclipse is exactly conjunct Chiron, you can have major healing occurring between you and your siblings, cousins, friends, and local community. The third house is one of the things in astrology ruling social media. So it's a nice time to start putting yourself out there more on social media, professionally or personally, if you feel to. And I can see many of you Aquarians stepping into leadership roles of some sort in your local communities, with this eclipse being in the sign of Aries, a leadership sign. We've also got your planetary ruler Uranus is conjunct Jupiter this month. So this is very positive and exciting for you over the course of the whole next month and year. Very big life changes going on. We've also got the full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd. This is happening in your 10th house. Full moons are times of release and illumination for you. And this is in regards to your work, career, and long-term goals, your elders and parents. Pluto is in your sign in Aquarius, squaring this full moon. So you could even be, some of you Aquarius is around the full moon in Scorpio on April 23rd, having like an identity crisis or huge realization about what it is that you actually want to be doing professionally. And that may come as like a shock to some of you guys, you know, like, oh my God, why aren't I doing this thing that I've been passionate about my whole life? Or, oh my gosh, why don't I just, there's that opportunity right there. Why don't I just go for it? A lot of you are having work changes and realizations about your value and your actual gifts in life. So I hope that resonates with you, Aquarians. And we're going to pull a card for you guys as well for the month of April. You guys also got the Atlantis card. Okay, so we've got this card coming up twice now. Keep the big vision, stay in alignment as you grow. And what's interesting with the Atlantis card is, you know, Atlantis in its heyday was very, very futuristic, right? It was a very, very advanced civilization, ancient civilization. And Aquarians are the advanced ones out of all of us, okay? Not to say that anybody is better than any other sign, but Aquarians ruled the future and forward thinking. And you guys are very important at this time with Pluto and Aquarius being in empowered positions, believing in yourself, okay? Keeping your vibe high. Maybe you guys want to look into Atlantis. If you've never looked into Atlantis before, a lot of you have a connection to the ancient civilization of Atlantis and the healing technologies that were a part of Atlantis. I feel like a lot of you guys will enter new careers having to do with frequency healing or sound healing or even crystals, okay? On the professional level, also personally, there's new higher information that you guys are learning about and getting in alignment with this month. So hope that resonated with you, Aquarians. Vermar says, geez, Meg, I'm having chills. I'm questioning my current work situation as of late. Yep, the astrology never lies. I'm happy that that resonates with you. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to go to the Pisces. And just one second, you guys. Turning my heater off in front of me because I'm getting too hot in here. Okay, so for the magical Pisces, first of all, we've got the Mercury retrograde in Aries happening from April 1st to April 25th, and this is in your second house. Pisces, please be extra mindful of spending and major purchases, okay? And please hold off, if possible, over the course of this retrograde on any big purchases or spending, okay? The second house is our values, income, and material possessions. So it's a really good time for you to be reviewing and reflecting on those areas of life during the retrograde. The new moon solar eclipse on April 8th is happening in your second house. So Pisces, you are experiencing new beginnings, fresh new energy, and opportunity in the Taurus ruled areas of life. Your very foundations and values are going through a whole fresh new start over the next year period. I feel intuitively that many of you Pisces will be moving home or countries for some reason, and maybe purchasing new homes or property, new income streams are manifesting for you. With this eclipse in Aries, this is a fantastic energy for you to be doing entrepreneurship and having the confidence to start new jobs that you're passionate about and being in alignment with your values. The second house of Taurus also rules nature and being outside. Spend time in the great outdoors. It's very good for you over the course of the next year and during this eclipse season, and will help you integrate the changes wanting to occur for you for your highest good. We've also got the full moon in Scorpio is happening in your 9th house. Okay, and this full moon, as I've been talking about, if you've been listening to any other part of this video, is going to be the most intense one of the year. And you're having, what's nice, Pisces, is you're having this full moon in one of the lighter houses of astrology. So even though it's super intense and it's a lot of toxicity we're all releasing collectively and personally, it's in your house of luck, expansion, higher consciousness, your beliefs, your relationship to spirituality and religion. So similar to what I was saying for the Leos earlier, a lot of you Pisces can be healing through, if you've ever been in a cult or you've ever been in an organized religion that was disempowering towards you, that could come up during this full moon in Scorpio. You're releasing toxic beliefs that no longer serve you as well. Okay. And we've got a T-square of the full moon and the sun and Pluto, T-square pointing towards Pluto, and Pluto is in your 12th house. So this is very deep-seated awakening from your subconscious of things that you've been holding on a deep level that may be toxic, kind of like beliefs or patterns, and you just kind of effortlessly are ready to let them go with Pluto in your 12th house. So I hope that resonated with you, Pisces, and I'm going to pull a card for you, magical creatures, for this month of April. Let's see what we got for the Pisces. Metamorphosis, embrace transformation. Things are now different. Wow. That is super, super cool for you Pisces. I love that you guys are having the eclipses in your 2nd house and you guys are having the Mercury retrograde in your 2nd house, because that is the house of values. And you guys are such sweet, sensitive souls. And I say that with so much love. It's the most sensitive sign in astrology that, even though you guys are highly, highly sensitive, for the most part, unless you're a Pisces with something counterbalancing that in your chart, you are of value, okay? Your sensitivity is a great gift and it does not make you weak. Okay. And I feel like a lot of you guys are becoming empowered in your gifts and realizing your value that is to be shared. So there's a beautiful metamorphosis happening where you're stepping more into your empowerment and also your spiritual and intuitive gifts. So hope that resonated with you, Pisces. And wow, we've gone through all 12 of the signs. Crazy. I love going through all 12 of the signs in these videos. And thank you guys for the very, very positive comments. I really appreciate it very much. It means everything to me that you guys enjoy these forecasts. So before I finish up here, just want to mention again to please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Beyond Mystic YouTube and Rumble channel as well. We've got lots of amazing new content that's coming up that's super, super exciting. And also, if you would like to have a personal astrology consultation with me, those are available over at consultations.beyondmystic.net. The link is in the description box of this video. And don't forget to check out our newest member of the Beyond Mystic team, the very, very special Ashala, who I'm very excited to start working with. She's currently offering 1-hour new psychic tarot readings over at consultations.beyondmystic.net. And she's also going to start doing a new weekly show called the Psychic Tarot Weekly Show. And the first one is going to be on April 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern. So do go check that out, you guys, and support Ashala. She has a lovely, lovely energy. So very, very excited to have her on. So yeah, oh my God, we're at the end of this video. I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting my work, for supporting us here at Beyond Mystic. And I'm sending so much cosmic love your way. Mwah! April is going to be a powerful, powerful month. Happy retrograde, happy eclipse, happy Uranus-Jupiter conjunction, happy full moon in Scorpio. That's going to be really intense and crazy, but we're going to get through it. And I love you guys so much, and I'll see you very soon. Mwah! Bye.